We have had a doozy of a day.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
Yeti! Welcome to the Horror Basement. I'm one of your hosts, Johnny Leroy, and we got Jim Jam, Yeti, and Angela.
Hey.
We are all here. We are all here. We are
Yes.
going to discuss some news and got our segments, and also the movie of the week is Terrified, picked by our patron Alex, one of our patrons, as they call him. We'll get into that. I enjoyed that movie, just to start off with that. And how's everyone doing? We haven't been together in a while. It's been a while.
Yeah, the aliens finally let me off for a couple-day furlough, so.
Me too.
Hey, all right.
They let me go, and I told them to take you. So sorry.
Thanks, appreciate it. They said you weren't quite their type, that you were a little too hairy, so.
Yeah.
Did
Not
they
too
really let you go?
Do what?
I don't know if they let. Where's I going with that?
I
Probably
don't know.
nowhere.
I don't know what
They tried to kick you out because you were having too much fun up there. You were too much for them, wasn't it? That's what it was. I'm like, oh hell, we gotta let this one go. She's gonna kill us. Too much.
Yeah.
Too much. Yeah, they won't take me anymore. Cause I was up there like, come on, aliens, y'all ain't got no alien booze. Yeah. Y'all ain't growing no weird glowing mushrooms up here. Get me off this. Y'all are lame. And I just kept making fun of them and bullying them and stuff. And they finally just was just like, fine, we're not even gonna probe you. You know, we were going to, but we're not in the mood anymore.
With those fingers like this damn long.
Yeah, they suddenly had headaches. And,
For the people that couldn't see that, it was really long. It's his fingers.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
clear.
Hey, if you want to see me imitate a finger of an alien, just sign up for our Patreon.
if you want to see me finger an alien, sign up for my OnlyFans.
Real quick before we get into everything, I just want to say on Beyond the Basement, our podcast, our other podcasts that we do, we ranked chips, so you can go back there and listen to that for last week's.
Very controversial winner.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but yeah, you can go listen to that. It's really fun. But
that's invigorating.
Yeah, them chips, man. I don't know how the winner won. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I don't mind that they won because I really enjoy them. I'm trying not to say what they are, but I like them a lot. But no one else that should not have been the number one chip. Should not have.
You wouldn't think, but
and just so we clarify this in the last podcast, in our other podcast. When we say chips, we're talking about Cheetos too, okay?
Because Cheetos are chips.
And cheese puffs?
Yeah.
Cheese puffs, yes. I don't want to hear they're all in the snack chip category.
I would like to say I did look at your guys' list. I don't know the answer, but I was very pleased to see that Funyuns were in there.
You should
no
be.
Comment. No comment.
They were.
Those were my favorite growing up.
Yeah. Yes, I love Funyuns, and
They're
if you
so
ever
good.
dip them in ranch, they're really good. So.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that, Angela.
Yeah.
But let's get started. So we're gonna have I don't know. We're gonna do segments. I don't know why I said I don't know when I do know. I think that made no fucking sense.
Mm-hmm.
But
No.
who wants to start out? You want me to start out?
Well, better. I just have a couple quick short little announcements I can bring up. So one, I know it's a little early yet as we haven't hit October, but I don't care because it's the season. And I haven't been on long enough to celebrate with you guys. Plus I've been working too much. So anyways, As far as October goes, we have Joe Bob's coming up. They finally announced his Halloween Hideaway. That's what they're going to call it this year. And that's going to be on October 23rd. And then it'll be available on demand on October 26th. And then the follow-up, and this is definitely old news, but I don't think you guys mentioned it. So I just wanted to bring it up. Should there be somebody out there who missed it? Fangoria has been relaunched and bought. So they were purchased by Wonderwall Entertainment. And so we're still going to receive our quarterly subscription print magazine, thank goodness, as well as Fangoria Studios and Podcast Network. And then the studios are looking to promote or to produce and distribute fiction and nonfiction content, and they really want to add more diversity and probably more content from all around the globe, so to speak. So we'll look forward to seeing that. I know I will. It'll be interesting to see what they do. And those were kind of the two topics I wanted to make sure to hit and let everybody know.
With the Fangoria thing, that's really good because I forgot. I seen something that popped up and I didn't, and just, you know what I mean, like it was in passing. But they've been looking for content even before, like with movie wise. They want to make low budget horror movies, or they did before, like $100,000 budget. You know, they're throwing at movies, or they were to get their, you know, Fangoria Presents or whatever Fangoria productions or whatever going on. So I mean, that's cool. At least they're continuing, and you know, they got the rights to everything.
Yeah.
Angela,
Yeah.
does that include books as well, or is that just like movies?
Right now they just mentioned movies. They didn't say anything about books. So I don't know what they're gonna do. I'm sure they're gonna keep them pretty much along the same lines as they were before. It just kind of grow it as far as content, exactly what the content will be and where we're gonna get it from.
And Joe Bob, what was the movie that Joe Bob was coming out with, or that's going to be in Jim Jam? Didn't we get an email about?
Yeah, we did.
Wait a second. For what? For
he's going. There's going to be a new movie. Like I don't.
He's in a. Let's see.
Sorry, we didn't know you
was
going to
talk
about
in
Joe
Scare
Bob.
Package, and that was a lot of fun. He did a cameo in that. They showed that on season 2.
I don't know. Anyway,
and then Diane Prince was able to pull out his other movie that he was in that didn't ever get released, and she went to the director and got it released, and that was a lot of fun, I thought.
All right, I think it's called Cryptids.
yeah.
It's in Indiegogo right now. I think
Yeah,
it's Indiegogo.
Yeah, that was it. Because we got, if we wanted to try to help with it or something, I can't 100% remember, but which I mean, it's cool. You know, just go to Indiegogo, look up cryptids, and if you're interested in it, you know,
absolutely support all that Joe Bob and Darcy, the mail girl, do. I can't thank them enough. They really bring a lot to my Fridays, and I always get a little sad when the season ends, and you know, Diane's always working hard all year round. It seems like, to do what she can for all the fans and to get movies out there and dig up stuff. I know she's been working on a really big project with his old show with the Monster Vision and stuff. So I just, you know, you got to support people like that.
Do you think they're gonna bring back Monster Vision, or?
It's not that they're going to bring it back, but they're going to release on DVD his segment parts. So not the movie, obviously, because of rights and everything, but I believe they're putting together a video of all his segments.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be really awesome.
I got more, I guess, of movie news. And I mean, I don't know. Animated movie. It's Scooby-Doo. Okay, it's just Scooby-Doo. We'll just throw that out.
Fuck yeah, Scooby-Doo.
He kept like the Scooby-Doo franchise is like going strong. If you just go into Walmart and look, or whatever store you shop at that you have locally, and there's a lot of Scooby-Doo animated movies. But this one's Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo, and it goes. I'll read the synopsis or what they have on here. With fake monsters and candy galore, Halloween is heaven for these hungry foodies going door to door. But this year, their sweet holiday turns sour when the neighborhood pumpkin patch is infected by toxic ooze, creating high-flying jack-o'-lanterns and a king-size pumpkin leader squashing everything in its path. It's up to Scooby-Doo and the gang as they team up with their pals, Bill Nye the Science Guy and Elvira, Mistress of the Darkness.
That's awesome.
To solve the mystery of gigantic proportions. Yeah, so
that's one thing I've always loved. Well, I mean, I'm sure we all did, but I grew up on Scooby-Doo. Loved it as a kid. And that was always one great thing were the guest appearances. I mean, that's something that's always been known for. And, you know, back then when I was a kid, I knew who all those people were that they would have on because I was watching them elsewhere. So that's one thing that definitely makes it a lot of fun, the show itself and the humor that's there, you know.
Yeah, I thought it was more news because Elvira is going to be on it, and I just thought, you know, there's just a lot of fans of Elvira, and if your kids don't know who Elvira is, boom, Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo
should know who Elvira is.
People. Yeah, exactly.
Is she going to be wearing regular clothes, or is she going to be wearing her iconic dress? I'm just curious how they'll do that.
I don't know if
iconic look.
Yeah,
but with covered up, but it's going to be an iconic look. She's not going to have her boobs out or nothing.
Yeah, if she's in regular clothes, she'd just be Cassandra Peterson.
Yeah.
You know?
But I don't think it's cool because Scooby-Doo still. I mean, what is it? 40, 50 years of this?
Something like
did it come out in the 60s? Was it?
Yeah, like 70 years. Like it's just like they're still pushing. Yeah. It's just awesome. I just love it. It's great.
I do too. I think it's great.
It's a fun. Go ahead.
Probably what you were going to say is it's a great way to bring your kids into horror in a fun way.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I was going to say. So
1969 was when it started.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, 50 years. So it's awesome, man. I don't know. I don't own a lot of Scooby-Doo stuff, but I grew up on Scooby-Doo and loved him because I always wanted a talking dog.
Yeah.
He made me want a talking dog. I wish my cat Tucker could talk because it would be the best. Animals should have talked. What happened?
Yes.
Then you would have a bunch of back-talking people.
No, I would take it.
Kids.
But we would know what they wanted. Like my cat, he looks at his food and then he walks away.
I will tell you,
for food.
As a side note, the superhero, if I could have a superhero power, I've always said it would be able to communicate with animals. So that would be my dream.
Like Dr.
Basically. Yeah. That would. That'd be awesome. Words can't even describe it.
And make it where they understand you as well.
Well, that's what I said. Yeah, communicate.
Oh, okay. Communicate. Yeah, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
That went over.
Yeah, I'd have a pack of cats that would attack people.
With their little razor claws.
Yeah. Anyways, sorry.
Johnny
I'm over there picturing it like that fucked somebody up, man.
Johnny, you'd be over there pouring some kind of poison on their nails, so when they scratch them, it'd
No. Actually, I wouldn't. I was just kidding. I wouldn't have a pack of cats. I'd just get some bears.
Damn.
I would have
a couple bears.
Panther, though. I would have a panther that would be my fucking buddy.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, let's move forward.
Like Beastmaster.
Yeti? Yeah, Beastmaster.
Fuck, that was such a cool movie.
I know. I love that movie.
I was thinking of watching because my kid, we have a weird school schedule, so my kid's on fall break right now for 2 weeks. So I was thinking we should check out like Conan and Beastmaster, because
do Clash of the Titans too.
yeah, hell yeah.
What kind of how did they do the skeletons in that? What would that be? Is that stop animation or stop motion? The skeletons in Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, Ray Harryhausen worked on it.
That's what I was thinking.
The legend Ray Harryhausen, I might add.
Harryhausen was fucking
that has to be
phenomenal.
Having to do stop motion.
Guys, I'm looking up Beastmaster, and I've seen this movie, but I don't remember. Oh, it's only okay. I'm about to say that's a 2-hour movie.
You can watch it. It's on free. It's streaming a couple different places, I believe. So the Titans.
He had ferrets and a hawk and stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that forever. Oh, Rip Torn was in it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
I was thinking Dolph Lundgren was in this.
Mm-mm. He was he in He-Man, I think.
Was he?
Okay.
Is that the one he was in? Masters of the Universe?
I think so.
Yeah.
That sounds right. The He-Man movie that really wasn't a He-Man movie at all.
Yes.
John Irwin played He-Man.
Was it?
Yeah.
He was the Punisher. Dolph Lundgren was the Punisher.
He was something, I know. Before he was Rocky.
I got some cool news coming up for this month.
Oh yeah?
Shudder's really fucking really coming through. Like
Master of the Universe, Dolph Lundgren.
Bam.
Maybe there's a different one.
Yeah. Oh, anyways, go ahead, Judy. Sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt that.
Oh no, you're fine. No, Shudder's like really kicking ass for Halloween. They're doing a fully animated Creep Show Halloween special.
Oh,
like I don't know, like I love the Creep Show series and the movies, and so what they're doing is it's 2 tales. One is called Survivor Type, based on a short story by Stephen King, adapted by Nick Otero, stars Kiefer Sutherland. Is a man determined to stay alive alone on a deserted island, no matter what the cost. And the other one's called
Without his ball, Wilson.
No Wilson for you. The other one is Twittering from the Circus of the Dead, based on a short story by Joe Hill, adapted by Melanie Dale, stars Joey King as a teen whose family road trip includes a visit to the gravest show on earth. And that'll be on Shudder here and in Canada and the UK and New Zealand, I think. But I think it's kind of cool if they're doing a Stephen King story and a Joe Hill story. I just finished season 2 of Nosferatu, and just watching the way that they've adapted that makes me want to go like read all of Joe Hill's books. Because
I heard the book was really bad. Nosferatu. Like I was looking at reviews, and people said the book was so boring, but I could be wrong. I mean, I never read it, but that's just. What'd you think?
I haven't finished all of it. I'm more than halfway through it though, but I've had it for a couple of years now. Actually,
it's not that good to bring you back.
It's hard because of my time, and I'm one of these people that usually juggle a few books at a time. So.
Yeah.
But Nosferatu, real quick, I'm not sure if anybody's watched. I've watched the second season too because it's on Shudder. After it airs on AMC, it goes to Shudder. But I loved it. I mean, we talked it in detail last year when it first came out. I enjoyed it. The little kid. I'm not pushing violence against kids, but I'd have punched that fucking face.
Yeah, that dumb little bastard. Half that was all his fault.
Yeah, he get on motherfuckers' nerves, man. But But I mean, I understand he's got to be that way. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He does enough job to piss you off, so he's a good actor.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like not only Shudder, I mean, everybody's, the past few years, it seems like, I always take vacation time during the month of October. And it seems like the past few years have just been dead in the water. The Fear that AMC puts on, Fear Fest, that didn't start till like October 13th or something last year. But now it seems like this year, everybody's kicking it in gear. You have the Huluweenie, and then you have on Hulu, and then AMC starting off the first. They put out their list of movies that they're going to be doing, and it's nothing really out of the ordinary for them. But that you can go online and check out the long list there, and then of course Shudder, who's always the best. So there's a lot of avenues. I think even Netflix is doing a little something. But it's great to have it all back again.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
And then I'm sorry, I did want to bring up if anybody's kind of like me who likes classic horror as well. And I kind of got this. I learned about this off of Monster Party, but I got the subscriptions purposely for October for the Turner Classic Movie Channel. It's only like $5, and they are showing tons of horror movies as well, like good classic ones. That you might even have to pay for just to watch nowadays. So if you're really into that or want to check that out as well, I would highly recommend. If you go online to their website, you can check out a list of all the movies they're going to be showing for the month. So
hell yeah, that's fucking cool.
And speaking of Shudder, they just I don't not say surpassed or reached 1 million subscribers to the app, which I mean is pretty huge for them, So that's awesome. It's just really good to hear people are continually getting it, because I mean you don't want it to fail,
Yeah,
the content that it brings is just great. And I tell all kinds of people, like, well, they're like, they'll mention horror, was like, well, do you got Shudder?
You gotta have it. It's $5 and it's totally fucking worth it.
Well, not only that, I can't think of money going into better hands of Shudder and Sam Zimmerman and him, because he, like we've mentioned before, he hand curates these. It's not just a machine typed in, so to speak. I mean, he's doing what he can and bringing what they can to the network, and hopefully they'll continue that path and bring even obscure films or foreign horror and continue, and older films. I like that they do keep a mix going on with Shudder, and I definitely hope they continue that path, because it is hard to get some of these movies. I don't want to necessarily the movies that are on everything else, but what I have noticed is that you have like Tubi and Amazon and stuff, and late to the game sometimes Netflix, and they're bringing in movies that Shudder has. So now you're really, I almost feel like that these other areas are starting to look at Shudder and go, oh, we need to get our hands on those, or it's just coincidence. I'm not sure, but it's something I've been noticing for quite a few months now.
Yeah.
And just like the other week, the movies that are on Shudder, like the exclusive, like at Walmart, they have their DVDs out, and it's Shudder exclusive. It shows
awesome.
Like Terrified, the movie that we're going to review today, it was there. Was it Blood Quantum? And then of course it has the little 30-day trial, and with it being at Walmart, to me it's just like more advertisement for Shudder, and it's free advertisement. You're just selling DVDs, and they're only $10. So it's not like a lot, if you wanted to own the movie, a physical copy, which I think is cool. But it's just not, you're seeing it out in the wild, as they say. As people say, I don't know.
Another
That's awesome.
Something I would want to see come back for a second season is Video Palace, the audio drama.
Oh man,
Did you ever listen to that, Angela?
Yeah.
I love that. It was so
I would
good.
love to hear a season 2.
Video Palace. That's something I plan to like go back and revisit. Like I love audio dramas. Right now, I'm listening to the Backwoods Radio Show, which is super fun. Shout out Squatch Ronson. It's coming up on the finale of its second season. It's set in a place called Dog Snout County, where everybody's like fucking deformed cannibals, and that's just their normal fucking everyday life is to like kill tourists and eat them. And there's like a sludge pool that turns people into mutants and shit on the side of town. And the mayor is a like 100-something-year-old quadruple amputee woman with tequila for breast milk. It's ridiculous and it's fun.
Yeti, that's Yeti's mom incarnated.
We got her name is Mayor Mama. We got Old Gods of Appalachia is a real dark kind of retelling of some like folklore and stuff from the mountains, and then and then Video Palace kind of falls in right there, kind of in the middle. And like this, I love that shit. And then Crypta's fun. Crypta's hella fun. You can listen to it in an afternoon. You know, they're coming up on a second season.
Here's one for you, Yeti, if you want to start. I was going to start it, but the Magnus Archives. And this, like, I'm on Castbox. It's got 1.5 million plays. But it goes, I mean, there's a lot of episodes, man.
Yeah.
So it's called the Magnus?
Yeah, there's 220 episodes. Yeah, the Magnus Archives. They're 20. They're like 20-something minutes.
They must be huge. They got 1.5 audience, 1.5 million audience.
I tend to be, I don't know what you want to call it.
22 minutes. Well, that one's an hour.
I like them long. I mean, I want if I'm tuning into you, I want to be given at least 45 minutes an episode. That's how I am with my story.
Well, these are audio dramas, like, so it's.
Yeah.
I mean, you just play it on repeat, or like just let it play through.
Yeah, that's like Old Gods of Appalachia is probably about 30, 45 minutes per episode.
Yeah, because I see some that are like 8 minutes, 15, and I'm like, why bother? Don't bother.
Yeah.
The only problem I have with them are the. I mean, I know you got to advertise on your show, but if you have a 6-minute show and you do 2 minutes worth of advertisement.
Yeah.
Granted, on Castbox, you can pay for the premium and skip to a certain point, so you don't have to listen to their fucking shit, which is kind of fucked up.
But what's the point if they're so short?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're good stories. I mean, that's the only.
You're right. I shouldn't. I'm not bashing. I'm not bashing anybody. So I apologize. That's not where I was trying to go. You should always support.
Whatever it is, Crypta, like it. They're like really short, but they're just funny. You know, it's like quick in and out.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I shouldn't. It's just my personal preference as far as if I'm going to listen to any of them. I like audio dramas and stuff. I do like them to be a little bit longer because I do get into it and I visualize what's going on and stuff. So that's why I prefer a little bit longer.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely on the Crypta. You do not get that because 30 minutes is probably the whole season or something like that.
It's a little longer than that. It's a couple hours, but I mean.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I think,
like Angela was saying, it definitely has you picturing it in your mind what was going on. So, I guess you got a movie playing in your mind.
Yeah, I mean that's what audio dramas. It's you use your imagination.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like sorry, before we move on. The part in Crypta where they have the Loch Ness Monster and the way he's able to be with them is he's in a bathtub.
Yeah. Oh, so, yeah.
Just picturing the Loch Ness Monster in a cast iron white bathtub just going around is what I'm picturing. Go ahead, Johnny. Finish what you said.
No, it's for you, man. It's your.
I still had some stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Shudder's got. They have the animated Creep Show, and then Sam Zimmerman is doing the Shudder's Halloween Hotline every Friday in October from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern. They haven't announced the number yet, but you call in. You give him kind of what you like, what kind of mood you're in, and then he looks through kind of the library and gives you a personalized movie recommendation.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's done that before.
Yeah, they said they can't promise to answer every call, but he'll try to get to as many as possible. And it's like a handpicked movie from a guy who obviously knows his shit. I mean, that's one thing I love about horror or about Shudder is it's definitely curated by people who love horror and who know their shit. So that would be fun. And the most exciting is the third entry in Shudder's best Halloween franchise that they're building, the Gulag.
Yeah,
that's right. They're bringing back a third entry to the Gulag franchise. Man, that is that's fucking awesome.
The first Gulag, I remember we just come up. So this was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We said if you get in 30 minutes in, man, you see a special thing, just to fuck with people because there's nothing.
You got to watch real close in the background.
See, and on the last one though, they did have stuff in the background, but the first one there was absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I usually have that thing going too, and that's how they. Rob knows it's Halloween in the house. I'll just have it going in the background.
I remember the first one. It was, you know how Shudder will just play you a new movie after you're finished sometimes, and I had watched the movie and like got up and went and got something to drink, went to the bathroom and came back, and the Gulag was on. So I sat my high ass down on the edge of the bed and I was like, all right, cool. And I'm waiting, and I'm thinking this is like the opening shot of a movie, and it's just like, huh. Like 5 minutes later, I'm like, what the fuck even is this? And I pick up my remote, and I bring up the thing that says Gulag, and I was like, oh, this is like oh man, fuck. Got me.
That's funny.
But didn't we title it like we reviewed the Gulag or something?
Yeah.
We're just like, let's just fuck with some people. Screw it.
Yeah.
I guess it's been like 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
2 or 3 years. 2 years. Yeah.
Well, coming up, let's see. The day.
Oh, what?
Did you have any more?
I just wanted to throw out there that it is when this comes out this weekend. As you're listening to this weekend, a lot of haunts are opening up. I know my favorite, Screamville, will be opening up Friday, Saturday, and I believe Sunday. Maybe not Sunday. Maybe it's just Friday and Saturday. And they've got a really cool setup going on. You go in, and it's all social distance. You go in with your group. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to worry about other people's stuff. They're being really safe on the inside, and they're broadcasting short story narrations to your FM radio while you wait for your group to be called. And within the next week, you'll be able to hear an example of one of those short stories on our YouTube channel. So be sure to check that out. That's all I got.
Yeah.
But real quick before I go into my story, or not story, my article. The day before this or the day after this airs is the Horror Basement's 5th anniversary.
Woo!
Yes, that is right. 5 years.
5 years.
5 years. Oh man, I had it written down when Yeti first appeared on. Too bad.
Oh yeah, I think you sent a picture.
Hey, while you look, Yeti,
oh my god. We was going to do a list, but we never got to it. Yeah, here it is. Never mind. Yeti's first appearance was 2018, January 30th, 2018.
Yay.
Angela's was 4/7, or what is that? January, February, March, April. I thought it was April, but I didn't want to look at it. April 7th, 2000. So yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, that was, man. I still remember. We were getting a lot of interviews at the time, so we did a separate show just for interviews, the Horror Basement interview show. And I was just popping on the show every now and then, when I had time or when we wanted to talk about something or whatever. And I would do interviews too. So we're cutting the intro for the interview show, like a static intro to just throw it before everything, and it was like I was totally part of it, and then I was like, wait, did I just become like a permanent host on the show? like 45 minutes later, it sets in, and I'm like, am I permanent now? It's like,
yeah, because that was October the 1st. That was like our 3rd year anniversary. Yeti's been doing this full time 2 years.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Jimmy was like, well, Yeti wants to be more part of the podcast. Okay, he can be a member. Fuck it. He's in. He done fucked himself. He's in.
We was like a what was it, a 3-wheeler that was very, it was kind of unstable. And we brought Angela in. Now we're a 4-wheeler.
Yay. Thank you.
ATV, y'all.
Since you brought that up, we reviewed a lot of movies. A lot. And maybe eventually we'll get into what movies, like a list of what really set in as well. You know what I'm saying? But
hey, one episode, would y'all want to do like a movie recommendation for Halloween? Would that be a thing? No?
No.
No.
I'm just fucking with you, dude.
What's your news story?
Oh, yeah. Bring it back, Angela. Thank you. George A. Romero presents Road of the Dead. Matt Berman resurrects the unmade zombie movie, Phantom Limbs. But apparently, they want to, I guess, just bring this up, talk about it, that how it was going to go off of Land of the Dead. What's the zombie's name? The one that was carrying the gun that learned how to use or started using the gun. Shit. But they were saying that why couldn't, after that movie, them able to follow people more and shoot at them and stuff. Why couldn't you put them in a car?
Who's doing this?
I don't know if it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think that they were just talking about it. But Matt Berman was gonna do it, I guess, before George passed in May of 2015. But it's gonna be zombie prisoners race cars in modern day Coliseum for the entertainment of wealthy humans.
Yeah, I'd rather just let's skip that one. I don't know. Just let it go. And I want to see the old
Statham movie, that Death Race. That's pretty much. That's what it would be. That would what it would be, but with zombies.
Undeath Race.
How would that work? Like zombie racing cars for the.
It doesn't even fit George Romero's style. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't fall in line. You know what I mean? Usually his movies have some cohesion based on the way society is and so forth. To me, that's just kind of out there. Like anybody could make that one.
I feel like that's one of those movies or, one of those ideas that comes up where everybody, it's like 11:30 at night and everybody's good and fucked up. And somebody says, hey man, what if we put zombies in cars and made them race and kill each other, like a coliseum with muscle cars and zombies? And somebody else is like, yeah, man.
I picture moon buggies for some reason. I don't know why.
Some Mad Max type shit with zombies.
Yeah.
How about that? Mad Max with zombies. But
I think they got enough troubles going on in Mad Max. They don't need to add zombies to the mix.
But Big Daddy is his name, the zombie that they were referring to.
Yeah.
Mad Max's Zombies is kind of like Days Gone. I've been playing Days Gone for 2 weeks now. It's a PlayStation game. It's like It's like Grand Theft Auto and Mad Max and Fallout, but with zombies. It's fucking great, and you're a biker, like fucking through most of the game. Days Gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're going to get that free.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure if you're going to get like a PS5 collection. I know we're not talking video games.
Sweet.
You brought fucking video games into this. It's not my fault.
Well, it's like that's the thing that's really like, dude. There's moments in that game where it's like really tense. Like you really like it. You get more of the fun fear than you do from than I have from like a lot of different movies. You know, it's just like, fuck, man. Yeah, I don't know. It's so good. There's some problems with the game, but it's fucking amazing. Highly recommend.
And we're going to continue talking about video games just real quick. But with the PS5 and that PS5 collection or the PS4 collection that they're going to put with it, I was like, dude, I really need the PS5 because I don't have a lot of these games because I don't buy a lot of them. You know, I buy certain games because I know I like them, and I don't want to waste money because I don't have that much. So, but I'm like, dude, like I need to buy this PS5 because there's none for sale. So there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
They didn't make.
If you guys want to transition, before we hit our movie, I came up with some Argentinian horror because you guys know how much I love foreign horror movies. So one I definitely want to recommend that I saw years ago. It's a TV series and it's on HBO Max currently, and it's only 2 seasons, and it's called Epitaphs. Now you're gonna have to excuse me. I don't speak Spanish or anything, so my pronunciations of stuff are going to be horrible. And as far as movies go, there's actually quite a few on here, and I've seen a handful of them. Currently, right now on Shudder is 2018's Luciferina. Yeah, that's it. So
that is a phenomenal movie.
Yeah,
really good.
And then there's The Innocents from 2015, and that's on Tubi. And then one that, if you're also like me who likes 70s horror movies, there's an NC-17 Snuff, it's called, from 1975. That's on Tubi. And one that I would recommend that I really enjoyed, I saw it while I was in Mexico, I mentioned this to Yeti, was 2017's The Bar. It's on Netflix currently. It was on Netflix in Mexico back in 2017. And so now it's finally hit the States, the Netflix US one. And then on Tubi, there's 2008's Dying God, which I thought you guys would like for Beyond the Basement because there's somebody going around killing and it's an inhumane creature. So anyways, then 2011's El Paramo, that's on Amazon Prime. And then one that I saw that I actually kind of enjoyed, I believe it's on Amazon to rent. It's 2011's, I'm just going to butcher these names, Penumbra. It's Penumbra.
Penumbra.
Yeah, that was really an interesting one. I would recommend that one. Then there's 2017, What the Waters Left Behind. That is on Amazon Prime and Tubi. And then on Tubi as well is 2013's Still Life and 2014's Children of the Night and 2008's Hide. So kind of a list if you're not sure, but you kind of want to check out some continuing horror. They really, Spanish movies, whether if it's Argentinian, Mexican horror, I think they're some of the best out there. They do a really good job. It's a subsection that's definitely one of my favorites. So I kind of wanted to toss those out.
A couple of those movies I've seen Luciferina a couple of times. It's really good. What the Waters Left Behind, I haven't seen it yet. Heard a lot of good things, and it was released not too long ago by Unearthed Films. So that kind of lets you know what kind of movie you're getting into there. And Snuff is nigh on unwatchable. It is a horrible fucking movie until about the last 5 minutes. But what they did was they took this really shitty exploitation film, and they tacked on like a scene to the end where it looks like it's on set, and the director like forces himself on a woman and then brutally butchers her, and then it ends abruptly with like static and no credits. So it kind of made it look like it was an actual snuff film. That's where, because the log line of the film was like the movie that can only be made in South America where life is cheap.
Yeah, and back then too, especially in the 70s and stuff, like even with Italian horror, and they were known for taking movies already out there, just ripping them off. So I think that's kind of a good example of that potentially probably occurring with Snuff. So that's why I kind of tossed it in.
Yeah, it had something to do with like it had been made and shelved, and the production house who had it decided to tack this scene onto the end and re-edit, like take the credits out of the end, and then push it as like this. Because back then you had a lot of marketing that was like Blood Feast, how they pass out barf bags at the shows and stuff like that. And I think Snuff is a really important movie because it kind of had that shocking punch ending and the marketing to it. But it's just kind of like Blood Feast. It's like it's important, but it's not good. But I think
kind of like I think effects with Savini, and that's also on Shudder too. Like at first you're kind of like, what the hell, when you're trying to watch it, but you stick with it and it gets, it gets there and stuff, and I think that it kind of wants to give you that feel, is this really happening or not? I mean, not as much, but it kind of plays on stuff as well. And because they do have an actual section where they're viewing a snuff movie, So
I'm going to throw this out there. I'll never watch that movie. So
yeah, no, it's not unless you're. It's like
it sounds like not my type of movie at all.
Unless you're Yeti or me, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, a certain person, it's built for certain individuals, and I'm not that individual, is what I just learned.
Well, at the time, it was built just to take money out of Rube's pockets.
Yeah.
That's what it was. That's what it's all. And now it's become like an academic kind of thing for horror nerds. Because I mean, you look at that, and that springs forth like movies that are supposed to look real. You get the spirit of like some of the found footage you see, and also like kind of eked its way into the legend of the snuff film. Like that really kicked off that legend, and then which flows into deep web red rooms.
I think
and
like
stuff
Yeti,
like that.
Yeti and we tend to watch movies even if they're painful, but it's because we do understand that they did help spawn off other stuff. You can kind of see the birth of where certain genres or certain things came about and developed.
But it's like, wouldn't recommend it.
You speak of snuff film. Was 8mm a snuff film? Was that
what? Yeah, it was. Yeah,
like,
I think
snuff film, but
about snuff films. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Like just Nicolas Cage appeared in my mind, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you ever have that happen? The man.
Every now and then.
Cage. You don't have Nick Cage pop up every once in a while. Are you even living?
Right.
Let's move in to the movie of the week.
For the movie of the week. Tonight on the movie of the week.
Yes, let's do that.
Thank you, Alex, for recommending this movie. I greatly appreciate it because I enjoyed the movie. The movie of the week is Terrified. It's on Shudder. We've been speaking a lot about Shudder this episode, but go subscribe to it. Go get your 30-day free trial. They're out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
When Terrified, when strange events occur in a neighborhood in Buenos Aires, a doctor specializing in the paranormal, her colleague, and an ex-police officer decide to investigate further. Dun, dun, dun. I'm gonna butcher his name. The director and writer, is it? Well, Damien.
Damien?
Yeah. Okay. I was over here looking at Damon. Rugna. I don't know why I was thinking that was a hard name. But yeah, Damien Rugna directed and wrote this film. What did y'all first? Let's just say, did you like the movie?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I saw it when it first came out here. When Shudder first premiered it.
My first, and this has happened with a lot of movies recently. More recently, I felt like I had seen it.
That's what. So one of those original, cool, but yet familiar ideas.
Well, I mean, with specific scenes, like I had seen, and I'm not sure where I had seen it. Like the kid videoing them at one point of it, while they're in the backyard.
Yeah.
And it's like, did I watch a trailer a long time ago? Did I see parts of this movie sometime? Because I used to drink like a whole lot, and I don't drink anymore. So, and all this stuff, like I would watch movies and then not know that I'd watched them, and then go watch them again and be like, I watched this movie.
Oh, yeah.
That's how bad I was drinking. So, but I quit.
Well, it's none of your business what you watch when you're that drunk.
Yeah. It's really not.
Hey, whoa. Yeti, did you just create a shirt?
That honestly, yes. That's beautiful. Perfect.
Repeat that. I'm writing that shit down.
It's none of my. It's kind of, I tell people it's none of my business what I do when I'm blackout drunk. It's none of my business what I'm watching when I'm drunk.
That's funny.
So I can't remember where the film opens, but the film opens up and there's banging on the wall, he's coming home and the wife is like, I heard voices in the kitchen this time.
Yeah,
it's just real creepy, and you're like, what?
Well, she's just standing there in the bathroom or in the kitchen, and hasn't even cooked dinner yet, and she hears something in the pipes in the sink, and
she's just like, what the hell?
Mesmerized by it all day long.
Yeah. Because he's like, you didn't cook dinner? And she's like, I heard voices in the kitchen. And he's like, the kitchen this time? Like, it's just a normal occurrence. And I couldn't believe where it takes off. You know what I'm saying? Because they're just there, and he gets pissed off about the neighbor. Right? Am I right on this? Like, it's moving.
Well, that's later on at night when they're in bed. And he hears the banging, and so he thinks because it's kind of, you have a couple storylines that are merging into one, so they kind of pull back a little bit to introduce the storylines. And so if you stick with just that storyline, you have the girlfriend Clara, and you see them, and then you go over to Walter's house, and Walter's the neighbor, and he's the one who's not sleeping. Well, when he runs into Juan, he tells Juan that he's just doing repairs, that they're working on his house, at night. Yeah. So you have Juan who thinks, they're just doing repairs, at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and he's getting pissed. So while his girlfriend goes to take a shower, he goes over to Juan's house, and he pushes the button. You get some static, and you hear a little bit of a voice and stuff. But then as soon as it goes back, that's when I was in. When I saw that scene, when Juan comes back and checks on his girlfriend Clara in the bathroom. Oh, that was fab.
Yeah, he's like, that's not Walter. You know, like he hears that bang. That's not Walter.
Yeah,
he starts putting his girlfriend's name. And I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And there's no way to not spoil this movie because we're going to talk about it. Go watch it. Like, definitely. Hopefully, we've put it out there that Terrified is the movie of the week and you watch this beforehand. But she's just banging up against the wall, back and forth.
Yeah, she's like in the shower, floating like a foot and a half above the ground, just ping ponging back and forth. And this poor bastard's like, he's just like, what?
What would your reaction be?
It would not be to be like, hey, stop that. Stop. Yeah. Hey, quit that.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Could you please
stop? I'm just like, what? Yeah, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Are you high?
Run, motherfucker, run! You know, have you ever watched Forrest Gump? Damn.
Well, mine wouldn't have been to run. It would have been to grab on or something.
Yeah, right if grabbing on failed, I would go get the holy water out of the laundry room.
Wait, when you just said grabbing on, all I could think of was a scary movie, because it would be that, like, all I could think of is a situation where he's grabbing on and he's just going back and forth with her.
Yeah.
But it was freaky, and then like he grabs a hold of her, and I'm like, he's fucked. You know what I'm saying? Like
I know, because now it's like, now you got all this blood on you and everything, you know?
There's no explaining that.
Yeah.
You know, but you're fucked, dude. And then it cuts to where he's in I guess it's a mental institution, correct?
Yeah, hospital.
That's the way I took it. Yeah, like it wasn't really a jail, but he was in jail. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think like a probably mental hospital he was probably assigned to. And then, you know, so you have, just to kind of play on that a little bit more, you know, while he's there, then he's introduced to 3 doctors. Dr. Albrecht, Rosentak is a helper, and then another gentleman, I forgot his name. But anyways, they believe him. They're like, there was something in 1989, a similar case. We need to see kind of what's going on. So this is also then where we kind of go back to Walter, and we kind of get to see what was up with Walter, and that there's paranormal, and it's ramping up in his house, and that's what's going on. And he's trying to get in contact because he's made a video. And he's trying to get in contact with Dr. Albrecht. And for some reason, I don't know who her secretary is, but I'd be like, bitch, you're a horrible secretary. You know, give it to the doctor. I don't know what the fuck more you need. You know, let's get going.
I do like how they did the because a lot of times, especially lately, you'll get a setup scene of like some shit going down, and it'll be like 2 weeks earlier. And you know where it's all going to lead to. But they're like, okay, well, let's go back 2 weeks and kind of fill in some holes. But that only brings you up to like the middle of the story. You know, you don't. So that was kind of nice. It wasn't just, okay, we've given away the ending. Now let's, you know.
And the one guy's, is it Jono? Jano?
Hano?
Yeah, Hano. And Albrecht is the other doctor too. Hano is he was
like a detective.
Wasn't he?
Coroner.
Yeah, the coroner. That's it. I couldn't think of the word, but he was a former coroner that seen people come back to life. And the way the story opens up is just like it peels back. You know what I'm saying? Like pieces. You get to learn more. You got to continually watch it to get the full story wrapped around. But
and. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and so Walter, you know, we get to go back with Walter, and we see that he decides to start filming, and we see some creature thing that seems to thrive more in the dark, that's taunting him than in the day, you know, or in light. And so we get to see that. And I got to tell you, I have rules about underneath the bed. I don't look, I'll never look underneath the bed. I keep stuff completely organized and stacked underneath my bed. So there's no room except for barely my cats if they want to go underneath the bed. I'm not trying to have anything hide underneath my bed. And I sure as hell am not going to check. And as another rule of thumb, how many horror movies do you have to watch not to have a fucking armoire? I mean, don't ghosts hide in them? Have we not learned anything between, any of like the Babadook and then even Haunting of Hill House, you have, the Conjuring movies. I mean, I don't know what more proof you need.
That's probably why my daughter don't want to sleep in her bedroom. She has an armoire.
Yeah.
It's probably got a ghost in it.
Yeah.
Or having a fucking plug under your bed when you know there's something under your bed, man. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I did kind of like how he messed with them a little and unplugged it.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Also, what kind of psychopath puts their bed in the middle of the room like that? That's what I want to know. He was asking for it.
You like yours against the wall?
Yeah, if it was just me, the bed would be against the wall.
Oh no!
Okay, I get that, but I like options to run if I need to run left or right.
Well, I live by myself, and my bed's in the middle of my room, but that's the only way that you can really put it because of windows and
mine would
closets.
be too.
Yeah. Well, he had all kinds of options in there. He was just like, I'm going to put this bed in the middle of the room for no reason.
Yeah, but and shit's moving, and you're going to fucking reach under. No, I'm not reaching under the bed.
No, fuck that. There's a scene where he walks back into his room, and the poor guy, he's so exhausted he can't sleep at night because this thing's constantly fucking with him. He walks back into his room, in his bed, he's got one of those little single beds, and it just kind of goes, and
I
moved
it. He moved it over.
And then he was just like, fuck it, and laid down on the bed. It's like, no,
well,
get you some
he's
yonder.
so exhausted. I mean, I think you could just see the exhaustion on him.
And he does the classic move on one part of it where he pulls a sheet over his head, and we all know when you cover your head up, you are protected.
Yes.
We all know. This is just universal language of ghosts can't get me.
Shield.
Yeah, it is a shield, and you cannot get me. But he uncovers his head. But I would too, because the little hand that comes, the shadow. I'm like, dude,
that's when you close your
eyes.
eyes. If I can't see you, you can't see me.
Exactly. You got to do the childhood games. But who would go back? I'm not going back to the house.
Yeah. Well, so what do you guys think of the creature itself that we finally saw? We'll call it a creature for now. But what did you guys think of?
Okay, it was creepy, but as I started watching more of it, I thought of Smeagol, like it was a cave dweller. Like a cave dweller. You know what I'm saying? Like because of the smooth skin, it was gray. You know what I mean? Like
gray because it doesn't get any vitamin D. There's no light. It hides. So, it makes sense the way it looks.
But it was creepy. I liked it. I mean, I didn't.
The contortion of the body
was weird.
Yeah.
Everything was weird.
I kind of wish it didn't look quite as CGI.
Yeah, but I think that could have been maybe money savings because if you can't find someone to do a great costume like
There's
that.
What's his name? The actor who is in all of Del Toro movies. The blonde hair guy who's real tall and slender. There's two of them
Doug.
actually.
Is it Doug?
Is
his name Doug or something like that?
Yeah, there's two.
No, what I'm saying though is if you if you didn't have the money to afford someone to
Doug Jones
practical effect, an outfit that would be done well enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's one of them. There's another one too. He played the Slender Man, and he's been in tons of.
Because if you can't get the outfit to look good and like on camera and it just looks stupid.
No, you could have, especially with this, and I mean, because there's so many movies that he's been in that even, yes, him.
His name is Javier Botet.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
He was in.
Like I was saying, like I'm not sure how much the
especially 'cause he's in the
CGI
dark.
costs. I'm not sure how much the CGI costs
expensive.
compared to a practical effect costume. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, instead of
like-
making, I'm just saying, I would have liked
Yeah.
it more had they have.
And I
That
agree with you.
CGI can sometimes, especially if it's the main creature, can kind of pull you out a bit.
There were a few moments when it did kind of take me out of it, but a lot of times I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why
That's
I
all.
think I pushed it towards Schmeagol because of the CGI effect. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Like it was kind of like it could have been done better, yeah, but I don't know what their budget was. I took it as this probably didn't have the greatest budget, you know. So I was like, I'll give them a pass.
I saw something.
So then, kind of, we're introduced to another set of characters. We have Alicia, and she's a neighbor, and then we have her son. Is it Nino? And so we see him, and he's playing around Walter's house. He goes up to Walter's house, and Walter warns him to get away. But as he backs up into the street and gets destroyed by a truck.
Just fucking run down.
Did you get the reference though? He drank the water.
Yeah.
So there's something about the water because it's in the water.
Yes, that's how they can
And-
travel.
Yeah, and he's like, "Don't drink that water," and he just got. And the one guy that ran out of the bus. Did y'all pay attention to that? He come out of the bus and he's like, "Fuck this." I was just like, "Damn, dude."
Nope.
And
Yeah.
well, with the humans being made up of water too, that's how I think later on we get to the jumping and taking over. It's like a conduit.
Yeah.
But so now we have the funeral and then that's where we have the cop. Is it Funes?
Funes.
Yeah, Funes.
Funes?
Yeah, Funes.
That's how we start to get introduced into the story, and then we have almost all our characters and stuff, because after the funeral, he gets called over to Alicia's house, and that's also where we find out at some point that they had intimate, probably, but they were very close. They had a relationship. I don't know if they were partners at one time, like on the job. Okay.
Oh, no, partners, I don't know, but I know. Wait, never mind. Sorry.
Yeah.
You talking about Alicia?
Yes.
Yeah.
I took it as they were like.
Yeah, I think they were together. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if she was on the job at one time too or not. But anyways, so the police are over there, and this is where we learn that her son Nino has come back, and he's sitting there in the kitchen, perfectly still, rotting away, and that was beautiful.
Oh man, that kid was so fucking scary.
It's like you could smell him, and I love that.
Yeah.
He was so well done.
And I love that when they come in, he's sitting at a table with like a bowl of cereal and a glass of milk.
Yeah, because you know that she probably did that because that's her natural. She's so
just mom instincts.
Mommy, instincts kick in, and that's what feed my baby. It's breakfast time.
And do you think because he come back to life just from drinking that little bit of water?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like because he wasn't fully animated like the other ones. He wasn't possessed totally. You know what I mean?
Just enough.
Yeah, just enough.
Enough,
it was
and
creepy.
then it probably grew and developed more too, I would think.
True.
Yeah.
And it was done really well. He looked really good. The special effects on that, maybe that's where they spin it all.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because it looked good. It wasn't CGI'd. But yeah, he's just sitting there, and they're like, and the cops come in, and he's just like, one of my officers thought he saw him move, and I think I seen him move.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know are they, and the other, and then you have what's his name come in because
Yano.
The cop was friends with him and has worked with him, the coroner guy. And so, the coroner friend is called in and, I think he's trying to say, look, maybe your eyes are playing tricks on you. Nothing's going on here. I think he's trying to dismiss it as well, as best.
Well, what I think it was because he was talking about how, there are cases where, a grieving family member will dig up the body and bring it back to the home. But I don't think this is one of those cases. What I think that whole conversation was this is how you're going to clean this up.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the story that I'm not going to tell you to go cover it up, but this is the story that you're going to use to cover this up to make this go away.
Yeah,
because
we got the typical. He's ready to retire. He's almost done. He's not in the best of health, and we don't need this going on right now. This is going to cause a whirlwind of a sensation, and because Juan gave permission to the 3 people, they're now Dr. Albrecht is in the neighborhood. So when the coroner goes outside, he recognizes her over at Walter's house taking pictures because he's been missing for a couple weeks.
That's beforehand, right?
No.
That's at the same time.
Yeah.
No, because Albrecht, they don't get permission until Albrecht goes there, and then Wano runs into her, and she just so happens to be there. Like the permission's afterwards.
Yeah, the permission does come out. That's when they move into really deep into the second act where they all go into these houses.
Yeah, it's intertwining. The story is the story. That's why I say when you gotta watch and just it just develops and you see.
I mean, it does. I'm just trying to condense some of it because some of it we don't need to sit there. So that's why I was just saying they got permission and.
Yeah, so they do. They go. The Albrecht and her partner. And the Hano, Rosentalk and Hano and Fumes go to Juan in the hospital, and they're like, okay, look, we're going to be able to prove that you didn't kill your wife. We think this is connected to another case, yada yada yada. But your neighbors have already agreed to let us stay in their house. Let's stay. Which is just the dumbest goddamn thing to me because they're like, okay, all these houses are violently haunted, so let's split up hardcore.
That's what fucked me up, man.
Right now we know that there's 3. They have experience with this. There's only 3 of them, so we're gonna split up, and one of them's the nest, so to speak. They discover which one is the nest, and. I think as they are in this setting, this is where we see everybody is in this parallel world, but it's going on at the same time. It's kind of a dark versus light, and it's like they're kind of not trapped, but kind of trapped, and then they become trapped after.
Yeah, the multiple dimensions at one time. The what is that effect called? The string theory.
Yeah. Where like the multiverse kind of thing, where everything is just. That's what I really like because a lot of times, and I like ghosts and demons and shit, but I also like seeing something a little different. Like this went straight to, Albrecht is trying to explain. It's like, okay. So there's a whole bunch of dimensions and a whole bunch of timelines going all at once. And everything's like a section of an orange. And we're all laid up against each other. And sometimes it's thin, and sometimes things cross over in our dimension through water because of microbial stuff. And it's like, well, damn, that's cool. I like because, here and a lot on the Beyond, I've talked about how things like ghosts or aliens or cryptids could be expressions from another dimension in places where reality is thin, so them taking that and playing on it in this really dark way it's kind of interesting to me.
Yeah, we learn here that they thrive on blood as well. and stuff. So I go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys continue with this section.
Oh,
No, you're good. But when he's playing with the spoons
yeah,
and the knives, and I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
yeah.
Like, you
It's
know, like, come on, dude.
it's like the
What?
being is magnetized and has sucked everything up to.
Yeah,
And
where he's at.
He's like a little kid.
Yeah,
Look at this. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. Ah! You know, get stabbed.
like Hano does a bunch of dumb shit, but at the same time, like I really relate to him because
Wait, no,
he's just
that was Rosenstock. That was
Oh, was
Rosenstock,
it?
wasn't
Yeah, that dude was a psycho. That dude was straight up crazy.
He's the American.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
darkness
American.
and light. But Hano I really liked because he's just an average dude. Like he was a coroner or whatever, but I mean that still kind of lays you in average dude territory. But he's just a nerd, like a paranormal nerd, and he's finally got something big thrown in his lap, and he gets to work with one of his heroes. You know, so I kind of see where he's like, oh yeah, I got this, but he doesn't. He doesn't have this
because he had seen it over his time, where people would come back to life. So, but it gets like it starts really going and ramping up. But like Funes, he's done. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm done. He calls Hano, I'm done. He's like, and Hano's like,
that's because the knife scene.
Yeah.
And there's one in the cupboard, and he gets stabbed.
Sucking the blood up.
Yeah, and sucking the blood, and he's just like, he gets it. It's like it's registering because don't forget he's kind of acting as like a pseudoscientist here. So to him, he's like, wow, okay, he's found something. He's got proof, and so he's putting it together. And then Funos is just like, yeah, we're done here, but. However, when he calls his buddy Rosenstock's like
Hano. His buddy's Hano.
Yeah.
When he calls Hano on the phone, Hano's looking over at him across the street. And this is where you're like, shit's crossing. Dimensions are definitely in like merging.
Yeah.
And everything's happening at the same time. And he sees somebody, and
the jump scare that got me too.
Yeah. There's a couple.
I was into the movie, man. I was into it.
There's a couple of kind of cheap jump scares in this that actually worked, which was kind of nice. But I love.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right after the scene where Rosenstock gets the knife through his hand, he tells Fumes, he's like, okay, look, you need to go clean up all the blood. Don't ask any questions, just clean up the blood. And he's like, fuck it, sure, whatever, fine. So he's like going around and he's cleaning up blood out of the floor. He's cleaning up blood out of the floor. It's like little drops here and there, little puddles. Then he gets to the kitchen and he sees like handprints and footprints in the blood. And he just like stands up and goes, no, and just fucking drops the rag and leaves.
Well, and not only that, even Dr. Albrecht tells him to clean up the blood, And so anyways, that whole scene, that's where she's describing the layers, the orange, like the orange. But even before goes into the house, you see her and she's in the wall and she sees Walter.
Yeah.
Apparently. And she's like, it's weird. She's like hypnotized almost by it. It's weird, her demeanor, how much it changes. And then she's interrupted by Funes when he comes pounding in, and she's like telling him, don't believe everything you see. Don't believe everything you see. And then she goes into this discussion, and then fucking out of the blue, fucking these hands come for her and snap her neck. And you're like, what?
Yeah, and it's like massive looking.
Yeah.
Real skinny arm and massive. I was like, what the fuck?
I was sitting there going, oh, she is so fucked.
Yeah.
She's gonna fucking there it went,
Yeah. You know what?
And she's a scientist too, though. So she's the paranormal expert or whatever, And so she's like trying to really figure it out. She's just like, well, don't believe everything you see, like you were saying, and it's just like she thought she had figured it out. You know what I'm saying? Like she knew what it was.
She did, in a sense, and she just happens to have balls of steel that were too trusting, I think.
And dude has a heart attack. Was that when he had the heart attack, or?
Yes, because it's coming after him slowly.
Yeah, Walter is coming out after him, and he has the heart attack. Because what did he call it? Coagulation. He has
a coagulation problem.
Yeah, and I was just like, what? But yeah, he has the heart attack, and he finally wakes back up, and Alicia comes back. And
well, he gets out of the she comes back to help him. Sorry. Yeah. Well, and not to help him. I'm sorry. He's asking for help.
And she's dirty as fuck. Like you look at her and you're like, and I'm sitting there thinking like, is she not take a shower?
No, she dug him up.
But I was first thinking though, maybe she's dead. Maybe they got her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it comes to reveal like, nope, she dug that motherfucker up. I couldn't leave my baby. You left my baby. I wasn't.
And the whole thing that we're getting from this is it started in Walter, presumably. That's what we're thinking. And at his house, and it's spreading throughout the neighborhood at this point.
That's what, like, you really start realizing, like, oh, shit. And so Funes drives off. His partner goes back. And he's like, stay the fuck away from there. You know, his partner radios him. Like, we're trying to get a hold of you. You're not here.
Get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, get the fuck out of there. And, of course, he goes back. And then Alicia, he goes back in the house with gas. And the boy's there. And
she hung herself.
Yeah, and they have another little jump scare, you know, where he opens the boy's door and the boy's, you know, slams the door on him.
And he's like, fuck this. I'm setting this place ablaze.
Yeah. But before he drove off, though, I forgot that part where she comes running out and hits his window. Dr. Albrecht.
She's all fucked up.
Well, what happens is Alicia is going to give him a ride finally.
Yeah.
And she's like, get in. And he goes up to the car and he sees Nino in the back seat. And he's like, oh, hell no. So he gets into his car. And then that's when Dr. Albrecht comes in and she's like, they're torturing us here.
Yeah.
There's still time to save us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that doesn't get explained.
What doesn't?
No.
They're still torturing us here. Like, you don't know. You never saw the riddle in the movie, which, I mean, I'm not sure how you would. Like, yeah, you might be able to carry on to a part 2.
I'm not sure I understand what you mean, the riddle in the movie.
Well, she's like, there's still time to save us, and they're torturing us. Like that's never, you know.
Yeah,
she's like, no, we're gonna burn it down.
Keep them out. Like she was saying, don't believe everything you see. Like she's not actually dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you seen her get killed, but maybe she didn't actually get killed. I don't know if y'all thought that. I thought that, but because even
it's not. It's not that. It's that I feel like that these creatures that thrive on blood, I feel like since they also travel and they can reproduce in water and stuff, that, like I was saying, they use the human as conduit. So it's almost like they merge into her or something, or like use her body. And
True.
So because when we come back, once everything's done, then you come back to Juan again. And it's like a year later, or 6 months later or something. And they're interviewing him, asking him questions because the cop's missing. He ran after setting the house on fire. And then he's like, you brought somebody back with you. And they don't see him. And he sees them. And Rosenthal, yeah. And Rosenthal then flings a chair at him and it ends. And so, you know, I don't know if they're insinuating, because they show him pictures. They show Juan these pictures, and he thinks it's his wife, and he's like, I've already seen them. But it's from other incident, and I think it's from the 1998 incident, and he might recognize her. So there could be a tie-in. So maybe it's Juan this whole time that is able to, and that's why Juan can maybe see Rosenstock, because there might have been some immersion there where he brought it with him when he came back home and brought it into his neighborhood somehow. So
Maybe.
But it does set up for a part 2, which they are supposedly working on.
Cool. I'd watch a sequel just to see where the story goes. I feel like they left plenty of questions kind of open.
I think that
they got a lot of meat to work with. Yeah. I definitely watched the sequel. I really enjoyed this movie. It's like there was moments where like it was really tense, and I like some of the scares. I like the makeup work that they did, especially like on Hano, where get me out of this goddamn cabinet. I got glass splinters in my eyes.
Oh yeah, and when he blows out the match.
Yeah. He's trying to light Funes is trying to light the place on fire, and he keeps lighting matches and they keep going out. And he lights one in Homeboy just leans over and blows it out like over his shoulder. Then he turns and he's just got glass shards in his eyes and he's all fucked up.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how true and if this is going on, because I want to say that Guillermo del Toro was supposedly one of the people working on an American version of this. And so there was some tie-in, or not a tie-in, but if the director was waiting till the American version was released and then doing the second one, the follow-up to this. So there was something out there about that. So I'm not sure if you guys saw anything or not, but I haven't heard anything, especially with COVID and hitting. I don't know how much it slowed down these ideas, but
yeah.
I was looking into some things on it, but I didn't see anything like that. And not every movie needs an American version.
Very few need an American version.
But I guess to introduce it to America, because some people won't go watch this movie.
Just ADR.
Martyrs.
Yeah, Martyrs was one that did not need to be Americanized because the original was so good.
Ditto Inside. Inside didn't need to be an American movie either.
Yeah.
But I guess it's just the case of where a lot of people will never see this movie because there's not an American version, as you say, an English version.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know if it's that could be part of it, but also because I think the mainstream America also needs a certain package. And you're not going to get that package in these movies. And that's what I like so much about them, is they do feel like they're not always catering to that crowd.
Yeah, you're right. But definitely recommend this movie. Go check it out on
Absolutely.
Shudder.
Yes.
And,
This kind of reminds me, the discussion kind of reminds me of the director of Parasite. When Parasite won at the Oscars last year, he said something along the lines of, if you could just get over that 1.5 tall barrier of subtitles, you'd have a whole new world of cinema open to you.
Yes.
And this is another, I think this is another example of that. Like, this is a whole, like, it felt like there was some stuff that, you'd seen before if you watched plenty of horror movies, yeah, sure, whatever. But there was there's a whole different feel to this. It felt kind of like almost Japanese at some point because of the water connection and the makeup they did on the boy. It kind of gave it an Asian feel.
Absolutely.
And it's just, I don't know. I think that if you can get past subtitles, man, there's this whole, especially if you're getting tired of the same old shit, watch something foreign. Watch something, because you're going to get something different, because cultures are different. Because audiences are different.
there are feels like to Spanish horror. They do have a certain feel. Italian horror has a certain feel, and so on down the line.
And the dialogue in this movie was really easy to read.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't go by like real quick. There wasn't, I mean, what little dialogue there wasn't like a massive amount. Like you wasn't reading a novel. You know what I mean? It's an 87-minute movie. You're not watching a 2.5 hour movie. And it's just really easy, and it's a good movie. Like you want to read it, you want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. Like I wanted to know what's going on. I put my phone down because it's like I can't read subtitles with my phone in my hand.
Yeah.
I want to know what's going on. So I set the phone down and I watched the movie, and that's makes every movie better when you set your phone down.
Yeah, it does.
Like 100%. But we're gonna end it here, guys. We appreciate everyone that listened. If you stayed this far, thank you so much. And if you want to support us even further, hit up that Patreon. You know what I'm saying? Share. If you share is a lot. If you can't financially do it, just share. That's the biggest thing. Tell people about us. Let people know that we're out here. That's the hardest thing to do with any small group is just getting noticed.
Yeah. Tell your friends, share us around.
TNHorror.com. There's a haunt directory up there. You want to get haunt season is upon us. We know that haunt's not open everywhere. And if you want to take the chance of going out to a haunt, we got a directory. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
And there was something else I was going to say, and I can't remember. But TeePublic, we got some shirts, whatever. Support.
And soon we'll have Yeti's shirt up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm toying with some ideas for some serial killer themed shirts, stuff like that. So that might be a thing in the future.
And we did do a couple of Halloween shirts, like Fiend for Halloween or something like that. Just simple designs, nothing crazy because I'm not an artist. I'm not, but just some simple designs. Show your support for Halloween. So thanks for listening, and
that's all we got. We out.
Peace.
Keep
Stay
watching
spooky.
horror.
Try not to be an asshole.
They would like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back next week to this locality to have a heaping helping of their hospitality. Or that is, spooks and spells. Take your shirt off. Y'all come back now, you hear?